Good evening. I trust you're doing well this 16th day of March 2021. Glad that you could join us here on News Tonight. My name is Musa Salah. Coming up in the next 60 minutes. Tonight, police start piecing together pieces of the puzzle that is the murder of journalist Jennifer Wambua, who was an employee of the National Lands Commission after her body was found dumped in Ngong. President Uhuru Kenyatta leads the nation in mourning renowned journalist Robin Njogu, who succumbed to COVID-19 related complications on Monday. Plus, Maendeleo Chapchap Party withdraws from the Machakos by-election 2 days to the ballot, attributing the decision to a State House meeting between pro-BBI parties. And drama in court as Sonko's lead lawyer John Haminwa storms out of the court during proceedings, citing unfairness from the chief magistrate in a 10 million shilling case. Welcome to the broadcast. Anne Wairimu is our sign language interpreter. News Tonight begins right now. President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto are among people who've sent their condolence messages to the family of renowned journalist Robin Njogu, who was the managing editor at the Royal Media Services. Robin passed away last evening at a city hospital where he has been battling COVID-19. Meanwhile, 5 bishops have succumbed to the virus in the last 24 hours.
News of Robin Njogu's death shocked many who interacted with him on a professional and personal level. Robin, who was the managing editor of radio at the Royal Media Services, had been admitted at a city hospital for more than a week where he was being treated for COVID-19. Robin will be remembered for his contribution in journalism due to his skills and leadership, as well as a mentor to many aspiring journalists. President Uhuru Kenyatta sent his condolences to the family, saying, and I quote, "Robin was an excellent journalist who mentored many young people in the Fourth Estate. We will forever cherish his skills and expertise in mass media, especially in radio, where he left a huge mark of excellence." He goes on to say, Robin always had a Midas touch in transforming media stations into great communication and entertainment outlets. End of quote. Deputy President William Ruto said, and I quote, "Robin Njogu was friendly, humble, and a good man. He was a skilled, dedicated, and professional radio journalist who edited and reported on issues openly, independently, and honestly." He went on to say, Robin was gentle, kind-hearted, and steadfast. He believed in the true values of journalism and contributed immensely to the strengthening of quality reporting. End of quote. Royal Media Services Managing Director Wachira Waruru remembered Robin as a talented journalist and editor whose firm leadership ensured high-quality editorial products across all the RMS radio stations. Known for his gentle demeanor, Robin excelled at developing and keeping great talent within the stations and was always a step ahead of the competition. End of quote. Others who mourned Robin are ICT Cabinet Secretary Joe Musheru, his Lands counterpart Farida Karonei, and his colleagues in the profession. Robin died 2 days after his mother passed on. Meanwhile, leaders from Kiambu County government condoled with the family of Eliud Ngugi, who was the member of County Assembly of Muguga Ward. Ngugi succumbed to COVID-19. Kiambu County Assembly Speaker Stephen Dichu ordered all MCAs in the county to ensure they are tested.
All the members who attended a meeting with Honorable Thithia last week in Mombasa are going to be tested, and actually that has been kicked off. And it is good that all of us know their status before we go to meet with other people. And I'm urging everyone, don't let anyone come to your meeting unless his status are known to all of you. Neither should I be allowed to come to your meeting unless you know my status, because this is becoming too much now.
But we also want to reduce the infection rate. So preparation is one thing. What is more important is taking precaution measures.
Today, 1,064 people tested positive for COVID-19 out of 6,151 samples, the highest record in a day this year. 7 people have died and 104 are admitted at the intensive care unit. Meanwhile, 5 bishops are among those who succumbed to the virus in the last 24 hours. Sharon Baranga, TV 47.
Well, the death of Robin Njogu is not just a huge blow to us in the media industry, but to also the country as a whole. May his soul rest in peace. Now, the second phase of COVID-19 vaccination exercise will begin in August and will target all people, journalists and people with comorbidities. This is according to government spokesman Cyrus Oguna, who says the exercise in counties is going at a snail's pace due to lack of cold storage systems in some counties. This even as the World Health Organization WHO calls on countries all over the world not to suspend the use of AstraZeneca vaccine just yet. Here is Zainab Mohammed with that story.
After the completion of the first phase of COVID-19 vaccination exercise in June this year, the second phase will begin in August and will target old people, journalists and people with comorbidities. This is according to government spokesman Cyrus Oguna, who says the exercise in counties is going at a snail's pace due to lack of cold storage systems in some counties.
The fourth estate members, I trust that we will be in the second group, which will sometime getting into August moving forward. Now that second group will also incorporate, the elderly, including those with other underlying conditions. So the message here really is that we must continue to preach the gospel of obeying the containment measures.
This is as World Health Organization dismisses claim that the AstraZeneca vaccine causes blood clots among recipients, saying there is no scientific research as at now proving that it is directly connected. The health body calling on countries all over the world not to suspend its use just yet.
More countries have suspended the use of AstraZeneca vaccines as a precautionary measure after reports of blood clots in people who had received the vaccine from 2 batches produced in Europe. This does not necessarily mean these events are linked to vaccination.
The question really is the linkage with the vaccine, and this is why we need to look at all of the data. The experts are looking at the data, and so far we do not find an association between these events and the vaccine. We do not want people to panic, and we would, for the time being, recommend that countries continue vaccinating with AstraZeneca.
Meanwhile, Nyeri County has received a total of 6,000 vaccine doses as Governor Mutahi Kahiga becomes among the first 200 people in the county who have received the jab.
We have about 6,000 doses. Our uptake, I think, is not very, very good. We are, I am sure now, by about, it was 186 by last night. Adding the numbers we have just had, maybe we may be heading to 200. And I think it is important that we take all these doses.
Zainab Mohammed, TV 47.
Well, thank you, Zainab. The probe into the murder of Deputy Director of Communications at the National Land Commission, Jennifer Wambua, kicked off Tuesday as detectives from the DCI visited vet farm in Ngong, Kajiado County, where the body of the mother of 3 was found dumped on Saturday. And as David Mudoka now reports, detectives will be seeking to join the dots as to whether there is a connection between Wambua's murder and a 122 million shilling graft case in which she was a key witness and was set to appear in court tomorrow.
A day after a body that had been booked into City Mortuary was identified as that of Jennifer Wambua, a Deputy Director of Communications at the National Land Commission, detectives from the Directorate of Criminal Investigation began the investigations Tuesday morning at Vet Farm in Ngong, Kajiado, where her body was found by a herder. Led by the head of homicide at the DCI headquarters, Martin Nyuguto, the sleuths spent the better part of Tuesday at the crime scene, piecing together events leading to her murder. Of interest will be whether Jennifer might have been killed elsewhere and her body dumped at vet farm, or whether her killers brought her there alive before killing her. According to locals who found her body on Saturday, the body that was fairly fresh bore marks on its neck that was covered by a piece of cloth, an indication that she might have been strangled by the very cloth at the scene of crime.
Tulipofika tuliona ya kwamba mama hakuwa na nguo kutoka hapa kwenda chini, kutoka hapa miguu ilikuwa wazi, lakini alikuwa amelala na tumbo. Mama alikuwa amenyongwa kwa shingo na kitambaa.
Ni tukio ambalo si la kwanza. Nafikiri huu ni mwili wa 5 kuokotwa mahali hapa kwa muda wa miaka 6 ama 5.
Unaona hata mahali yameletwa, hii ni watu wanajua kabisa eneo hili, kwa sababu ni mahali pia kumejificha sana.
Secondly, detectives will be seeking answers as to whether Jennifer Wambua's murder is tied to a 122 million shillings graft case at Athi House. The mother of 3 was a key witness in the case, where Lugari MP Ayub Savula, former ICTPS Sami Itemere, and 16 others were charged for conspiring to defraud millions of shillings from the Ministry of Lands through fictitious advertising services. Jennifer was set to be cross-examined by the defense on Wednesday after failing to appear on 1st March for the cross-examination after she reportedly fell sick. She will, however, go missing on Friday 10 a.m., a few hours after her husband Joseph Komu dropped her off at her workplace.
On Friday, Friday last week, all commissioners, CEO and top management were in Mombasa for a retreat with a parliamentary committee. So we were not in Nairobi, and it appears that is the day she disappeared.
Nothing seemed to raise an alarm, however, until her husband stumbled upon her phone, handbag and packed lunch in their car's boot Friday midday, an incident that is a twist in the murder mystery. Later that evening, Jennifer did not return home, prompting her husband to file a missing persons report at the Capitol Hill police station the following day. The search would, however, end on Monday when Komu identified his slain wife's body at City Mortuary.
And what is most important is the phone data. The phone data will show what phones were near her at the time of capture. So phone data in this matter is very crucial.
No arrests have been made yet, with an autopsy set to be done in the coming days on Wambua's body as part of the ongoing probe.
It is at this particular point where the body of slain Jennifer Wambua was found by a local, dumped on Saturday. And for the past few days, this particular area has been a crime scene as detectives try to solve one of this year's high-profile cases. David Mudhoka, TV47 at Ngong Forest, Kajiado County.
Well done, David Mudhoka. Now, 6 lawyers representing former Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko left today's hearing at the Milimani Law Courts in a 10 million shilling graft case facing the former county boss. Lawyer John Khaminwa walked out of court during the hearing, accusing the court of being biased in the case.
Lawyer John Khaminwa and others claimed that the court has denied them time to gather evidence from Sonko's former lawyers for adequate preparations for the case.
But I did not think that it would be fair for me to be a party to proceedings where I do not even have the documents. I have not taken full instructions from the governor, and I don't think that I would be of much use to the governor sitting in that courtroom at all.
According to Sonko's defense lawyer John Khaminwa, one of the accused persons tested positive for coronavirus after interacting with other people at the Kawa court where Sonko was presented a few days ago.
One was a man by the name of Odhiambo. Another one by the name of Cliff Ochieng. One of them has been tested and has been found to be a coronavirus COVID-19 patient. At Kahawa, the governor, including defense team, we were interacting with the co-accused freely.
Mike Sonko is facing a 10 million shilling graft case that is before Anti-Corruption Court Chief Magistrate Douglas Ogoti. In today's hearing, lawyer Khaminwa accused the court of excluding the media in the court proceedings.
Under Article 50 of the Constitution, the media represents the public. and there's no way you can shut out the media from the proceedings at all.
The court dismissed medical reports obtained from private doctors and presented to court by Sonko's defense lawyers, saying the same reports were obtained 2 weeks after the court made an order that he be examined at the Kenyatta National Hospital.
Well, it's time to take a short commercial break, but we'll be back with more. Remember, you can follow this live broadcast on www.tv47.co.ke.
They say the way to the heart is through the stomach. This month of love, Throwdown shares with you those amazing food ideas for that candlelit dinner and picnic date. Learn those dining etiquette and avoid those embarrassing moments every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. What's the perfect way to kickstart your day in the morning? Well, apart from having a healthy breakfast, the Morning Cafe is all you need. We will inform you on what's happening on the roads, dive deeper into the newspapers, alongside heated political debates.
I have to fight the order. Yes. Order.
Did you know that your greatest wealth is health?
Then we start eating right, and that's what I do in my clinic.
With some good Friday vibes. The Morning Cafe with Linda Alela, Monday to Friday, from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Only on TV47. On the grind, we bring you different entrepreneurs who give the story of their businesses with love and passion.
I'm a musician forever. This is something that is inborn.
It excites me each day. It's a field that has always excited me.
Because when you show love to your business, it will show love to you.
The most rewarding bit of being a photographer is seeing a bride able to see her images of her wedding and evoke emotion in her and just relive the moment once again.
Get to hear these stories and so much more every Monday at 7:30 p.m. On Coffee with Movie, we bring you great testimonies from amazing personalities.
Mwanzo wa kwanza alikaa ndani ilikuwa intense. Cause alikuwa, alikuwa atafuta place atawaka akifanya thesis zake.
Stories that will inspire and encourage you.
Hiyo kitu ilisha also ni clap. Sheila told us this is what we've been looking for.
And some that will even make you laugh out loud.
You have chapa kawa ya kutuliza temperature kabla hiyo story.
Na wewe hukuleta mandazi bro.
Mbona ingeandikwa coffee and mandazi?
Aya!
Make sure you catch the episodes of Coffee with Movie every Sunday at 8 p.m. They say the way to the heart is through the stomach. This month of love, Throwdown shares with you those amazing food ideas for that candlelit dinner and picnic date. Learn those dining etiquette and avoid those embarrassing moments every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. What's the perfect way to kickstart your day in the morning? Well, apart from having a healthy breakfast, the Morning Cafe is all you need. We will inform you on what's happening on the roads, dive deeper into the newspapers, alongside heated political debates.
I have to fight the two. Order. Yes. Order.
Did you know the Hunt Your Great of Untold Stories?
Welcome back. You're watching News Tonight here on TV47. Now, Maendeleo Chapchap's Mutua Katuku has withdrawn from the Machakos senatorial by-election, which is slated for Thursday. The race now has 9 contestants, among them Wiper Party's Agnes Kavindu and UDA's Abana Sengengele, who are seen as frontrunners in the by-election. Mudhoni Maina has more.
After weeks of arduous and bruising campaigns, the race has come to a note for Maendeleo Chapchap Party and its candidate Mutua Katuku. Following a meeting between President Uhuru Kenyatta and 8 pro-BBI political parties, the Alfred Mutua-led Maendeleo Chapchap bowed to pressure and withdrew from the Machakos by-election race. President Uhuru Kenyatta, in a statement sent by State House spokesperson Kanze Dana, called on political parties to find a peaceful, amicable and uniting way forward during the upcoming by-elections, especially in Machakos. Governor Alfred Mutua, while confirming Mutua Katuku's withdrawal, also alluded to the president's statement and the need for cooperation among BBI partners.
The Maendeleo Chapchap Party extends its goodwill to His Excellency the President Uhuru Kenyatta, to the Right Honorable Raila Odinga and other BBI partners by withdrawing its candidate from the forthcoming Machakos senatorial by-election. It is our expectation that in the same spirit, our partners will reciprocate our goodwill. Finally, to our supporters, we know you've been ready to unanimously vote for our candidate, and we thank you. You've worked hard, you've campaigned, you've been out there campaigning because you know we are on an agenda of Chapchap development. The decision we have made today is a strategic and tactical decision made in the best interests of our members, our supporters, and our future plans.
The withdrawal of Mutua Katuku leaves 9 candidates in the race, among them Wiper's Agnes Kavindu and UDA's Arbanas Ngengele, who are seen as clear front runners. Pro-BBI bill parties have ganged up against UDA, that is led by former Machakos Senator Johnston Muthama, who is a close ally of Deputy President William Ruto. UDA has been giving other political parties a run for their money in the by-elections. UDA's biggest win was in Msambweni parliamentary by-election when they beat ODM for the seat. UDA also trounced the Jubilee Party in the London ward by-election early this month.
Kwa hivyo nashukuru Mungu kwanza kabisa kunipea afya. Tunajua kuna corona, sijapata shida yote, na pia isipokuwa corona imeongezeka humu nchini ni siku za mwisho za campaign. At least ile muda mrefu kama mwezi moja na nusu tumekuwa kuzuri.
Other candidates in the race include former provincial police boss Francis Munyambu, who is an independent candidate, Stanley Muindi of Party of Economic Democracy, University lecturer John Musingi of Kivutha Kibwana's Muungano Party, and Simeon Kitheka of GDDP. Others are Musembi Nthenge and Sebastian Thama, who are vying as independent candidates. Lily Mwanze of CCU withdrew from the race. Campaigns geared towards the mini poll come to an end Monday evening. The IEBC is burning the midnight oil in making the final touches in its preparations for the by-election.
2017 nilivai for women rep. IEBC iliniclear. Kwa nini wakati huu hawakusema sina makaratasi? Kwa nini wakati huu? Kwa sababu wananiogopa.
According to IEBC, Machakos County has a total of 1,335 polling stations in 40 wards with a total of 622,965 registered voters. The polling stations will be open from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Ruto, Mutua and Kalonzo have declared interest in the presidency, and the outcome of the by-election will have political implications come 2022. The county tallying center is in Machakos town. Mudhoni Maina, TV47.
DVD utanishika mkono ama utafikisha huko.
The Joint Justice and Legal Affairs Committee today continued with public participation on the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2020, with matters corruption, a bloated wage bill, and structure of government being center of focus by various groups which appeared before the committee. Members of the committee say they are hand-tied on amending the document, considering that according to the law, Parliament is not allowed to amend a popular initiative bill, even as queries were raised over the need for a public participation exercise if the views cannot be incorporated in the final document.
Day 2 of public participation at the BBI bill and various groups appeared before Parliament Joint Justice and Legal Affairs Committee. The discussion on Tuesday revolved around the structure of government as proposed by the BBI bill, a bloated wage bill from the expansion of government, the creation of new constituencies, among other issues.
The basis for division has always been the constituencies. What is the size? What are the special features of the of those constituencies, and what have you? So that one of the major consequences that we are having by having a draft saying new constituencies will be created here is that you have a situation that certain deserving constituencies have not been addressed on account of the fact that their counties did not qualify.
Lastly, the tenure of office of the cabinet is provided, outlining that the cabinet remains in office until the president-elect assumes office. Our concern is the cabinet secretary position should remain to retain the professionalism of the office.
And ladies and gentlemen, it's within public knowledge that as a country at the moment we do not have a constitutional problem. We have a leadership problem. We do not have a problem with the laws. We have a problem with the implementation of the laws. We do not have a legal crisis. We have an economic crisis. Thank you very much.
And despite of various groups supporting the bill, patient questions on structure of government arose, with the Ofungamano chairman, lawyer Kibe Mungai, raising the issue of further amending the bill through a public participation report.
And in the popular initiative, if this provision is not expressed, it is important either the referendum bill or by a proper reading of the Constitution, a mechanism be provided for that to be able to take place. So my view is that the public participation must change the views if that would be necessary. I will pause there, but my view is that it cannot be in vain, because if we came and gave views and at the end of the day it doesn't count for anything, we could as well not have given the views.
The Joint Committee is now grappling with the question on how to incorporate the views of Kenyans in the report.
The right to have the Prime Minister for their leader must be guaranteed, and it is not dependent that this Prime Minister can be sacked by the President as it is proposed. Because if we say that we are promoting a broad executive and we get a Prime Minister, the Prime Minister, the first job of the President, since he is constitutionally empowered to sack the Prime Minister, would probably to use the constitutional power to sack that person as a Prime Minister.
Representative of the Mau Mau War Veterans Association also appeared before the committee, urging unity of purpose in the country. The association chairman Gitu Wakahingiri challenging the MPs on unifying the country.
This country will never have any other phenomenon to compare with the struggle for freedom. That was supreme.
The Joint Justice and Legal Affairs Committee continues with public participation on Constitutional Amendment Bill 2020, but members continue to grapple with the realities from participants, considering that Parliament cannot make any amendments to the bill. Elizabeth Mutuku, TV 47 Palm Buildings, Nairobi.
Well, it's time to take another short break, but we'll be back with more. Stay tuned.
They say the way to the heart is through the stomach. This month of love, Throwdown shares with you those amazing food ideas for that candlelit dinner and picnic date. Learn those dining etiquette and avoid those embarrassing moments every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. What's the perfect way to kickstart your day in the morning? Well, apart from having a healthy breakfast, the Morning Cafe is all you need. We will inform you on what's happening on the roads, dive deeper into the newspapers, alongside heated political debates.
I have to fight the order. Yes. Order.
Did you know that your greatest wealth is health?
Then we start eating right, and that's what I do in my clinic.
With some good Friday vibes. The Morning Cafe with Linda Alela, Monday to Friday, from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Only on TV 47. On the grind, we bring you different entrepreneurs who give the story of their businesses with love and passion.
I'm a musician forever. This is something that is inborn.
It excites me each day. It's a field that has always excited me.
Because when you show love to your business, it will show love to you.
The most rewarding bit of being a photographer is seeing a bride able to see her images of her wedding and evoke emotion in her and just relive the moment once again.
Get to hear these stories and so much more every Monday at 7:30 p.m. On Coffee with Movie, we bring you great testimonies from amazing personalities.
So wa kwanza alikaa ndani ilikuwa intense cause alikuwa alikuwa atafuta place atawaka akifanya thesis zake.
Stories that will inspire and encourage you.
Hiyo kitu ilisha also ni clap. Sheila told us this is what we've been looking for.
And some that will even make you laugh out loud.
Chapa kawa ya kutuliza temperature kabla hiyo story.
Na wewe hukuleta mandazi bro.
Mbona ingeandikwa coffee and mandazi?
Make sure you catch the episodes of Coffee with Movie every Sunday at 8 p.m. They say 7, the home of untold stories.
Welcome back. You are watching News Tonight. Now, the Energy Committee at the National Assembly has summoned Energy CS Charles Keter to shed light on stalled power installation projects in the country. The CS was expected to appear before the committee today, but sent an apology through a Kenya Power manager who was sent away by the MPs. The committee has also raised queries over the rising fuel cost in the country.
On matters to do with the fuel prices, that is matters of to be able to give us, among other issues, the fuel adjustments and prices is only one of the components that we want. We have, Kenya became an oil exporting or production country, and that project has stopped, has stalled, and we don't know what is happening. So again, we have instructed the Secretariat. They have already written a letter, of course, for approval by the clerk, so that it is sent. Next week, a day like this, Tuesday, we'll be having the Minister of Petroleum to tell us about the early oil exploration, about the blocks that we have, about agreements that have been entered, what are they doing to market the oil production in the country, so that we stop this madness of buying fuel kila wakati, yet we have.
The government is concerned with the rising number of deaths as a result of road accidents day in, day out. According to government spokesman Colonel Cyrus Oguna, 710 people died in road accidents in under 2 months only between January and February this year. The government attributing many of these deaths to reckless driving and non-compliance to traffic rules.
The social media is awash with cases of reckless driving by motorists from across the country. Sadly, most of those cases have now led to a spike in road carnage, if data collected by the government is anything to go by. Addressing the media early Tuesday morning, the government spokesperson, Colonel Retired Cyrus Oguna, noted with concern the reckless abandon in obeying traffic rules as well as proper usage of roads. This, he says, has led to the skyrocketing number of road carnages witnessed from time to time, especially in the recent past.
This young lady who was thrown out of a moving matatu and she lost her life. The truth of the matter is that she was not alone in that vehicle. There were many others. Of course, some of them as young as you are. But who raised a finger? The answer is none. Why? Because I do not know her. She's not my sister, she's not my auntie, she's not my relative, so why should I be concerned? I just want to get home. That is the attitude that is killing Kenyans.
Between January and February this year, 710 road users have lost their lives in accidents compared to 562 road users who lost their lives between the same period in 2020. Among the 710 who have perished in the last 2 months, 230 are pedestrians, 197 are motorcyclists, 123 passengers, 79 drivers, 58 pillion passengers, and 23 pedocyclists. In 2019, 3,586 road users lost their lives against 3,975 road users who lost their lives last year, this indicating that 389 more road users died in 2020 than in 2019. Government spokesperson says the projected crash victims this year might soar up to 4,000. Among those who perished last year, 1,575 were motorcyclists, 1,383 pedestrians, 347 drivers, 580 passengers, and 90 pedocyclists. Motorcycles are the leading road crashes, with the bulk of fatalities associated with the mode of transport standing at 40% last year.
Accident-related deaths have been on an upward spiral when the country is implementing the 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. curfew. Now, the government wants all road users to be keen and observe all traffic rules when using the roads.
As such, the government has put in place interventions to reduce the road carnages, including road safety education and awareness, as well as training motorcycle riders and issuing licenses to the certified riders only, which is being spearheaded by the National Transport and Safety Authority (NTSA) in association with the Boda Boda Safety Association.
Sometimes I always begin to imagine what would happen say on a weekend, Saturday and Sunday, when border borders decided to just obey highway regulations. That matatus were not jumping lights, border borders were not jumping lights, that they were all waiting for their turn to pass. How would it be? I think we are going to think that something has gone completely abnormal. Sequely. Because you know how they behave, and the way they behave has been assumed to be the normal way. That is not the normal way. We must move them back to the normal way.
At the same time, the government spokesperson has taken a swipe at the judiciary for lethargy in convicting traffic rules offenders. He now calls on the judiciary to slap traffic offenders with punitive convictions.
Highway code breakers must face the law and be made to pay stiffer fines. You saw a video yesterday when a young man who was caught, drunk driving, was making a mockery of the legal system yesterday. Why? Because the fine that he was given, it was a slap in the arm. 30,000. So what is 30,000 for them, or for somebody like him?
Mwangi Maina, TV 47, Nairobi.
Well, alarming indeed. Thank you, Mwangi Maina, for that report. Now, one person has been shot dead using an arrow at Oltepesi Leparsimei village in Narok East sub-county following a land dispute that has been escalating for a while now. The clash ensued after the 35-year-old man allegedly constructed a temporary house on the disputed piece of land.
According to the Deputy County Commissioner, Eric Kwamwelo, one person was killed while several others are still nursing arrow wounds following the skirmishes.
First, to sympathize with the family of the young man who was murdered yesterday here, and even the other one who was assaulted a few days ago.
We feel the pain of losing a young man yesterday here because of the skirmishes that happened because of the land disputes. Nasihi kabisa na kitengo ya polisi wachukue hatua kwa wale watu ambao wanavunja sheria hapa na wanajulikana. CID inajua, hatujui kwa nini miezi yote ama miaka yote wote bado hajawahi stakiwa.
The security agencies in Narok East, elected leaders and the Ministry of Land officials to intervene and resolve the conflict. Narok East Member of Parliament Ken Aramat has called on the judiciary to resolve the stalemate that has been going on for 16 years. He urged the two families who have been engaged in the fight to cease fire and allow authorities to resolve the matter.
Tumeongea na land registrar na surveyors wa Narok ya kwamba kesho around saa 4 watakuja kutoa hii piece ya ardhi. Tumeongea na yote groups ambazo zinazozana na tumeagana ya kwamba hiyo piece of land ambayo iko na mzozo itolewe kesho saa 4. Commissioner wetu wa Narok East atakuwa hapa kwa ground na security team yote ya Narok East kuhakikisha kwamba hiyo shamba imetenganishwa na itakuwa iko hapo na all beacons waonyeshe wenyewe na wale ambao hawana title watoke kwa hiyo ardhi kama ni hao walikuwa na mzozo.
Security forces have been deployed in the area.
We know there is a court, is a matter in the court, but the matter in dispute is a boundary. And we've agreed that tomorrow morning we are going to be here with the land registrar and the land surveyor so that we can be able to demarcate the two pieces of land, 490 and 491, so that we are able to live in peace. In the meantime, we want to urge everyone to desist from any inflammatory statements or incitement of whatever nature. And anybody who is going to be found to be inciting anybody or to be planning anything criminal, action will be taken.
The Deputy County Commissioner also said the security team is working closely with a 13-member committee, which includes the clergy, to ensure that peace is restored in the area. Joash Onsare, TV 47.
Residents of Inyalu constituency in Kakamega County are mourning the death of a 14-year-old child after allegedly consuming poisoned bananas, leaving the two others hospitalized in the Kakamega hospital. Their grandmother had prepared the meal for them while she attended to other errands. Shortly after consuming the meal, the children complained of stomach aches, diarrhea and vomiting.
Nilikuwa nipikia watoto lunch, ilikuwa mandizi. Nikatoka nikaenda kufungua ng'ombe niende kusonjeka mali ingine. Nikakuja tu kama mandizi imeiva, nikachukua na chai nikapea watoto. Mtoto mmoja akaanza kutapika na kuhara. Nikachukua huyu mtoto nikampeleka hospitali cha Mahuvu Health Center. Huyo mtoto akafika huko akalala siku mbili. Siku ya pili mtoto mmoja amekufa. Ni wengine walianza tu usiku, mtoto akanipikia simu, mama, watoto wenye mmewacha wanatapika wanahara. Sasa nikamwambia, chukua watoto, ita mtu wa pikipiki uniletea watoto. Walileta. Nimechukua watoto kaweka kwa daktari. Daktari akautumia wao watoto.
Sisi tunasikitika kwa hii kifo, inatutisha sana. Lakini sisi tunaomba serikali tusaidie. area hii yetu ya Katu ni area mbaya sana. Pombe iko nyingi, bangi iko nyingi, bangi inafutwa, pombe inakunywa, mbele na nyuma ni pombe. Na hiyo mambo tujui huyu mtu alifanya hii kitendo, alitoka kwa pombe ama alitoka wapi. Serikali tusaidie, sisi tuko na shida. Kwa sababu tutapotesha watoto wote kwa mabomu ambao tunawatarajia kesho watusaidie.
Now, the Auditor General, Nancy Gathungu, has urged county governments to complete county projects in phases as a way of limiting the impact of delayed funds by the National Treasury. Speaking in Kakamega County when she paid a courtesy call to the Kakamega Deputy Governor Philip Kutima and inspected various projects, Gathungu also called on the county governments to only focus on beneficial projects to the residents. She also hinted at a possible capacity building initiative between her office and the MCAs with the aim of equipping them to effectively play their oversight roles.
I've done a tour of 2 projects in Kakamega County. One is the stadium, the Musumu Stadium, and one is this hospital. These are key projects that can help the people of Kakamega. And the size of these projects, it's not just for Kakamega, it's also for the country at large. But the important thing is that these projects need to be completed so that the people can start enjoying those services, especially the hospital. And sports is also equally important. So I have been speaking to the county leadership. The DG has been with me, that they need to plan adequately, especially for the budget, and where the challenges are, we can be told where we can help as an audit office in speaking to the root cause of why some of these projects are taking so long to complete. As an audit office, we are very concerned about projects that take too long to complete, or projects that are completed and then they are not put to use, because those are value for money questions. A lot of money, funding and investment has been put in these 2 projects. So we would want to see them completed and be put to use.
And potato farmers have disputed the crop's Irish Potato Regulations 2019 intended to ensure quality assurance and the marketing and licensing of actors in the potato value chains. However, the regulation has not curtailed the concern of exploitative middlemen. According to potato farmers, the brokers buy the commodity in extended bags only to repackage them into 50 kg bags for sale in other markets.
Na hata hii sheria hatuijui, sababu viazi ambayo inashonwa kwa kilo 110, na ukikuta zile viazi zinashonwa hazitusaidii hizi pesa zenye tunapata, sababu brokers ndio wanasaidika.
Kulima huu wa viazi wenye wanafaidika ni brokers, kwa sababu wakati wanapima viazi ndio ni 110, lakini wakifika huko barabarani ile viazi ikiwa imeshona hapa vizuri, wanaenda wanaitoa.
Utakuta hapa wananunua na hizo gunia kubwa, na baadaye sijui wanaendanga kulipackage upya wapi, wanapeleka huko zikiwa 50 kg, lakini